Hi, and welcome to my website. So this is sort of new because usually I made videos that were just for Patreon, and for the rest I only make videos that are actually for YouTube. But this is a question that I get really often, and I think if you're really looking for an answer to how to start this journey of learning jazz guitar, then you probably also have the time to just listen to what I'm saying for sort of in a more calm format where I'm just going to talk about it for 5 to 10 minutes and give you some ideas on where you can start working, what you need to think about when you want to start learning jazz guitar, and also how you can get more out of all the lessons that I have. There is no set path that fits everybody. If you're trying to learn any style of music, you're going to have your own path, and you need to look a little bit at how you want to learn things, what you're interested in, how you think it's fun to practice, and use that when you're learning. So in that way, I can't give you just, okay, learn this, and then that's going to solve all problems. And I think this is actually true for any kind of music that you study. So the way I'm going to do that, what I'm talking about here, is that I'm going to go over 3 different topics that I think are really a good place to start, and something like some bases you need to have covered, a foundation that you need to learn how to play jazz, especially in terms of just being able to play songs, because actually playing the music is where you're going to learn it. So you need to build skills so that you can play songs and so that you can use the things that you're practicing, and also, of course, all the things that I talk about in the lessons. Those 3 topics are scales and technique, chords, so essentially jazz chords, and also improvisation and learning songs. So when it comes to learning scales and just building the technique to be able to improvise jazz music, then I think the important thing here is that you really start simple. So I would say just learn one major scale, learn it in one position, and then just build a few sort of basic exercises within that position so that you have something that you can improvise with. Even if you can't really play it on a song and you can just play over sort of a static 1-chord backing track, that's a better place to start. So take one position, learn a scale. I would say C major scale is kind of obvious, and then learn the scale in thirds, maybe learn the triads, so the diatonic triads, or learn, especially the 7th chords are essential for jazz and jazz harmony. So you want to check that out. I'm going to link to some lessons and some videos in the post that follows this video, and you can check out some of those if you want to get some ideas and also some written out exercises. The important thing is that you keep it simple, that you don't get lost in learning all sorts of scales in all positions and all those kind of things. Keep it simple, keep it so that you have an overview of what is going on, learn the scale, learn the notes that are in there, and then work on using that. And then you can expand upon that, and you can also get more positions in there, more keys, other scales. It'll come, but start simple. Now the same is of course true when it comes to jazz chords. You can actually keep it quite simple and then still play through all the songs. It's practical to check out all the chords because you want to be able to comp. We actually spend more time comping than we spend soloing when we're playing jazz if you're playing in a band, which hopefully is the goal of what you're doing. So we need to learn some chords. Keep it simple. Take the major scale, learn the diatonic chords. So essentially this is just learning the chord version of the scale exercise that I just talked about, and already having that, maybe adding a little bit more, you can get started. There is one lesson that I have called How to Play Jazz Chords. The first 2 exercises there, that's a really good foundation for playing a lot of songs, and with only a few additions, you can actually play pretty much anything else. And from there, you can always expand upon it, add more different types of chords, get into all the different types of voicings, play rootless things, rootless voicings, play different kinds of chordal harmony and all those things. All these things can come later once you just have a basic foundation, and that you also use that on songs. Again, learning to use this. So first you play the exercises and then really try to play songs with it. Even though it's simple, that's what's going to get you there. The most important part of learning jazz is, of course, playing the jazz music, which is both the goal and also where you really learn how to make music with the things that we're practicing. Because it's not going to become jazz just because you know how to play a scale or because you know how to play some chords. So this is something that's a little bit more complicated. I'm going to link to a video which talks about how you play over changes, how you use the arpeggios that you practiced in the scale to make lines, and how you connect with the chords and play towards chord tones. I'm also going to link to another quite old video of mine where I'm going over how to improvise over a 2-5-1 just with the basic arpeggio notes. So really also just working on this idea of following the harmony. And again, this is something you can expand on. I'm also linking to some of the other lessons that I have. You can go even further where you start working with improvising with arpeggios over complete songs like Blue Bossa or Autumn Leaves. And these are really good lessons to get into. It's a good place to start. And then you can always, again, build on it later and take other songs and also, of course, expand on your language. The way that I'm talking about now, you're just learning the skills and you're just setting yourself up to actually start learning the vocabulary. So that means that even if you're studying these lessons, it's not immediately always going to sound like jazz, and it makes sense to also, next to this, but that's not something I'm going to really cover here, to work on some vocabulary. So play some examples, and of course you're listening to jazz, and there are all these other things that I keep on talking about that you also need to do next to all of this. But really these three things are the most important ones. And if you start with this, if you take the chords and you take the scales and the arpeggios, try to apply it to songs, just play some simple solos and learn how to play over changes, then you're building your vocabulary, you're building your skills and your ears to start learning some real jazz phrases and start using that as well. And that's where you're gonna really get a good start in terms of playing jazz, and you also already are building a repertoire of songs so that you can actually play some music. So I'm of course really curious what you think about this video, because it's sort of an experiment for me. I mean, my patrons have seen me do videos just for them, well, weekly almost, but at the same time, I never really made a video like this. I will maybe make this into a complete sort of a YouTube video at some point, and then go over this in sort of a little bit more of a faster setting and go cover it a little with a little more editing and also maybe a little bit more preparation. But for now, I think you probably have the time to check it out like this, and hopefully it's going to help you. If you have questions, join the Facebook group or join Patreon, ask me there, and I'll be happy to help you. And for the rest, I'm also considering making a course where I'm taking some of these things and really applying it to a song in a stepwise manner. That's going to be coming up later. I'm going to release this video now, and I'm just still planning the course, so that's something that's on the horizon for maybe next year. But good luck on the journey. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and make sure to also check out the Facebook group if you're on Facebook, because it's nice to be on this journey with a lot of other people. And I'm sure that some of the other people that are in the Facebook group, or if you join us over on Patreon, will inspire you, and you will learn from their comments and their posts, and also, of course, their recordings of themselves playing.